Welcome to Express Video Learning, presented by Cost Plus Electric Supply. I'm Eric. I'm here to show you. We're going to be talking about all the different types of LED tape light power connector feeds that come with the products that we sell. We're going to be talking today about a puncture type. We're going to be talking about the traditional suitcase type. We're going to be talking about a set screw type. And then we'll also be talking about traditional soldering methods. This way you will have all the available options to make sure that your LED tape light power connection is done correctly and safely. First, we're going to talk about the newest connector to the market. This is the HD power connector from American Lighting. It has teeth. They're very difficult to see, but they grab into the tape to make sure that the tape doesn't pull out once you're done. The most important thing though, when you're inserting the tape, is to make sure you insert it all the way into the connector, because if you don't, obviously it's not going to grab. And then once you're done, simply close it and your connection is complete. Next, we're going to be talking about American Lighting's set screw style connector, a very popular one, again because it has a mechanical fastener that's going to hold it in place. This one's a little tricky because it requires a very small screwdriver. The benefit is American Lighting now provides the screwdriver for you, so this little guy. You can also go to any local electronics store and grab a little electronic screwdriver. This is what I prefer to use because it's a little bit easier. First, what you're going to do is make sure that the screws are entirely backed out, like so. Then you're going to take your tape and you're going to insert it right here in the little slot. Make sure you get it in there as deep as you can. Then you simply put your screwdriver in, tighten it back down. Another favorite among contractors. Now we're going to be talking about the most traditional, the suitcase style. It has a little clasp that closes over the tape. The most important thing that you want to make sure is the tape light is actually underneath these little tongues, not on top of your tape light will not work. So let's do it. Now as you can see, my tape light is actually underneath those tongues. Now I simply close the suitcase and I'm done. Now we're going to do soldering. This is a lot more involved, but I guarantee you there's no better connection for LED tape light than this method. It does take a lot of practice, and here we're going to go. So you're going to need a soldering iron. You need electronic solder, not like solder that you would use for plumbing. It's too thick, too heavy, too hard to use. So go ahead and use something that you can get online or through Micro Center or something like that. It used to be Radio Shack, but they're closed. Then obviously you're going to need some wire. This is the in-wall speaker wire that we sell, or what we call power limited cable. It's good up to 130 volts. But this is going to be the typical wire that you're going to use to solder onto your tape light. Make sure whatever wire you use, it is in-wall rated if you're going to be pushing it back into the wall. And what we do carry is CL3 rated for that purpose. So let's begin. So what you're going to use is some kind of a adhesive tape just to hold it in place while you're doing this. You're going to put it in place, hold it out. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply the solder directly to the wires. And once the wires are coated, we can move on to the tape light. What you're going to want to do is adhere it to a surface, obviously that it's not combustible. And what you're going to want to do is fix it with a piece of tape so that it doesn't move around on you. It makes it a lot easier. Do pay attention whether you're left or right-handed, which hand you're going to hold the soldering iron, which hand it is, just going to make your life a lot easier. Now with our soldered wire already in place, we're going to take our soldering iron and hold it onto our connection point. Give it a second to warm up. Then you're going to come around and do your next connection. And there you have it. Now there might be times where you might want to cover this connection with silicone or even tape or even another thin layer of heat shrink if you think that it needs to be more covered. And that's what we have for tape light LED power feeds. Now, notice we didn't pay attention to polarity, and polarity does matter. So after your connection is complete, if your tape light does not work, you might want to check your polarity, which can easily be switched at the power source. Do not worry about undoing and redoing your connectors. Now, should you have any other questions, please feel free to stop by any one of our 4 convenient locations here in the Front Range area. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Have a great day.